Hello and welcome to today's video, which is called Another Trap, Another Crash. Let's examine it together. Thank you for liking this video, subscribing to the channel with notifications on so as to be alerted whenever new content goes up. This one will be packed and fast-paced just as yesterday, where I will be covering a broad range of markets and posing the right questions, dropping clues and telling you what's covered for premium clients every single trading day. Let's start as always with yields. Last week I called for them not to go pretty much anywhere, imposing obstacle for the stock market. Right now I'm though saying that they are starting to drift up again, and tariff wars and views thereof are but one part of the question, and the short end of the curve is becoming clear that it is leading the long end. US dollar, bullish gap Monday, attempt to close it. Is the upswing rejected? Rejected for good? US dollar is rising against the Japanese yen, and the euro is not having success closing its bearish gap the way equities did. Were trying hard to close their gap and ultimately succeeded. We will dive into this in a few moments. Yesterday's closing prices for gold, silver and miners. Bit rising volume, long lower knot. How easy do you think it will be to keep pushing higher from here? Crude oil, greatly influenced by what is happening with Canada, whether there is some kind of a deal a la Mexico deferring the sanctions by the tariffs by 1 month. Yes, there was, and it gives you a clue as to what crude oil has done since the announcement. Crypto. Has it recovered? Has it not? It's used to be quite a great barometer of risk on and liquidity proxy. So what is Ethereum underperformance telling us? Daily chart of S&P 500. Breadth. We will dive as well into a very practical trade example and examine the efficiency of calls that I had delivered as for yesterday's price action, while it was still mid-Sunday for you in the United States, well before the Globex open. Have you seen closure of the gap? Was it done on respectable volume? What's the role of tech versus financials? How did utilities do? How did industrials do? These are all pretty important clues, not just that communications were closing in green on the daily basis and what's Meta or Amazon or other stars doing. You remember my call for Apple to be the vulnerable one, right? So, let's dive into this practical chart. I called for a bearish gap, 5980, yes. To be easily doable target, it was reached within minutes after the market opened Sunday. Followed lower. I changed the tune to bullish. 6015 to 6025 area served as a temporary resistance only, and late in the session on Palantir earnings and the general enthusiasm, to what extent do you think it will carry over into today when it comes to tech and AI plays? It enabled closing of the bearish gap in the 6060s area, and since then all the relief on Mexico deal, which was the first turning point responsible for the long green candle on this 4-hour chart, then the Canada analogical deal to be re-evaluated every month, so it seems. We got the news of China going different route and imposing tariffs of their own. Of course, the two leaders will be still talking, so it's still pretty headline sensitive environment, but we saw equities drift lower, so gap closure, rejection, and drifting lower on the catalyst that had been actually quite predictable if you consider both neighboring nations' positions and where China is going. Have a look at this 15-minute chart for Nasdaq. What kind of intraday call do you think I have made for clients, and what was the swing trading intraday update issued approximately 4 hours ago? What was it about? What is my bias going into today's session? My join page to help you select what's right for you based on what and how you trade. Thank you for liking this video. Once again, you know my professional journey, obligatory disclaimer, and let's talk again soon.